With every new iPhone, Apple introduces one major new feature, along with several smaller ones. This year, I hope Apple focuses on the small but important changes in the iPhone 16, features already present in several Android phones, but can have big impacts on the user experience. This is my iPhone 16 wish list. Let's start with number 1, faster charging speeds. In the US, phones like the OnePlus 12 support 80-watt wired or 50-watt wireless charging speeds. For comparison, the iPhone 15 Pro Max, on a fully depleted battery, plugged in over USB-C, can draw a maximum of 25 watts. Apple claims the iPhone 15 Pro Max can charge from 0 to 50% in around 30 minutes. That was plenty fast a few years ago, but these days many Android phones can go from 0 to 100 in the same time. And wireless charging is an exercise in patience, with MagSafe speeds topping out at 15 watts. Going from 0 to 100 on a MagSafe stand can take hours. Faster charging is something I hope they add to the iPhone 16 Pro this year. Realistically, I think Apple could bump it to 30 to 35 watts, which still isn't as fast as flagship Android phones, but would be a noticeable reduction in charging times for when the time matters, without significantly increasing battery wear. Number 2, longer battery life. A battery that doesn't last all day is part of the reason why slow charging speeds can sting, and also why I never leave the house to go on a vacation, day trip, or excursion without bringing a MagSafe battery pack. While there is no doubt Apple Silicon is the king of efficiency and performance per watt, Apple has spent all those gains by adding additional software features at the same battery life. It's been a few years since they've aggressively tried to increase battery life. Apple will reportedly fabricate the iPhone 16's A18 chip using TSMC's latest 3nm process, which could lead to a big improvement in efficiency. There's also a rumor suggesting the iPhone 16 Pro Max will use a new, higher energy density battery. On the other hand, though, Apple Intelligence, which is going to power many of this year's most advanced software features, runs most of its foundation models entirely on device. So it's a coin toss whether we're actually going to see any gains in battery life this year. Number 3, a bigger telephoto sensor. On the iPhone 15 Pro Max, Apple switched the telephoto camera to be a longer 120mm 5x optical zoom lens. And the rumor is that same lens is going to come to this year's iPhone 16 Pro, the smaller size. And that lens is great for the additional reach that it offers. But the problem is that the sensor, that 12 megapixel sensor, is relatively small these days. It's great for capturing pictures in broad daylight, but it falls apart in indoor and low light conditions. If you zoom in on pictures taken indoors with this telephoto camera, you will notice the blotchiness and lack of details. A bigger sensor will allow for more light to get into the camera and take clearer pictures. Number 4, a repositioned action button. Last year, Apple replaced the Ring mute switch with a customizable action button. You can use it to toggle the flashlight, run a custom shortcut, and now with iOS 18, you'll be able to assign any number of customizable system features to this button. But the problem is that they put the action button in the same place where they put the Ring mute switch, way up there on the left side of the phone, which is a perfectly fine place for a Ring mute switch, because if you ever unmute your phone, you still only do that a couple of times a day, maybe, and you can even do it passively inside your pocket. But you're supposed to press the action button often as a shortcut while you're using your phone. And if you hold your phone in your left hand like I do, well, I can't reach that button without wiggling it around in my hand first. That's not easy. Rumors indicate Apple will bring the action button to every model of the iPhone 16. Here's to hoping they put it in a slightly more convenient place. Number 5, better thermals. Apple Silicon is again the king of efficient power, and the current A17 Pro chip is no exception. But the iPhone 15 Pro got hot. Unusually hot. People started noticing this as soon as they got the phone in their hands, and there have been complaints on Apple support forums ever since. Now, the phone never overheats, but it does get warm, and the lack of a sophisticated cooling system could be the reason. Almost all high-end Android flagship phones have an internal vapor cooling chamber for better heat dissipation. And maybe this is something Apple could learn from and adopt on the iPhone 16. It would keep the phone cooler and more comfortable in the hand, and also provide better sustained performance. Something that's only going to become more and more important as those Apple Intelligence Foundation models are running locally on device. Finally, number 6, anti-reflective cover glass. The iPhone 15 Pro has a Super Retina XDR display that can hit a maximum brightness of 2000 nits. This is very important for reading your phone screen outside in broad daylight. The iPhone 16 Pro is rumored to get a new display this year that'll be slightly larger, and Apple will also likely take the opportunity to upgrade to a new generation of OLED that'll be even brighter. But another approach they could take to improve legibility outside is anti-reflective glass. The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra uses Corning's Gorilla Armor Glass, which claims to reduce reflections by 75%, which can have a big impact on legibility, in addition to strengthening the display and offering better scratch resistance. Apple has invested heavily in Corning over the years, and should be the first to get the company's latest in technology. But unfortunately, the rumors suggest Apple might not be giving the iPhone an anti-reflective display until the iPhone 17 in 2025. But sometimes the rumors are wrong, so we can still hope. So while none of these features would be major breakthroughs, adopting just half of them would make the iPhone 16 the one to buy, especially if it comes in brown. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm Griffin Jones with Cult of Mac.